close are you to a deal on this larger package of elder care, daycare, child care, family leave, that stuff, whatever you want to call the bill, the social safety net bill, we call it. And will President Biden have a deal in hand when he leaves for Europe this week?
Well, first, thank you for the opportunity to talk about that this morning. I'm glad that you talked about COVID in your opening here, because that's how we start all of our meetings. What are we doing to protect the American people, to stop the spread of COVID? And I want to commend President Biden for having a completely different approach than his predecessor on this. We have to correct a lot of what went wrong then, and we're on a good path. And the good news about children being safely able to be vaccinated is something that will help stop the spread. So thank you for focusing on that, because that is...
We talk about it every day, all day.
And so do we in the House Democratic Caucus. In terms of where we are, I've said already we've 90% of the bill agreed to and written. We just have some of the last decisions to be made. It is less than we had was projected to begin with, but it's still bigger than anything we have ever done in terms of addressing the needs of America's working families. And it is about all that you said in terms of care, the care piece, but it's also about the climate piece, which is a health issue, a jobs issue, a security issue, and a values issue for us. And we will have something that will help meet the president's goals. I feel very confident about that, even though it will be different than what we originally proposed.
By the time he leaves for Europe, do you think you'll have a deal by Thursday or Friday?
No, I think we're pretty much there now.
You think you have a deal now?
We're almost there. It's just the language of it, but it will not offend, shall we say, the concern that Senator Manchin had about the CEPP, but nonetheless, the point is to reach a goal, and the president's goals of reaching the emissions, the pollution, and all the rest. Because we were prepared with our select committee headed by Kathy Castor, we had other options.
Other ways to pay for it.
No, other ways to reach the goal, and yes, pay for it as well.
So I want to get to that in a second, but just as a side issue, because there are a lot of people who are very eager for the bipartisan infrastructure bill to come up and be voted on as well. And progressives have said they're not going to vote for that until there's at least a deal on the larger social safety net bill. You said the House must pass the bipartisan infrastructure plan by October 31st, which is a week from today. Moderates are frustrated. Two deadlines have been missed because of the progressives. Are you going to meet that goal?
No, wait a minute. There was no deadline that was missed because of the progressives.
Okay.
The deadline was missed because they changed from 3.5 to 1/2 that, and we've had to go in, and it's lamb meat lamb. Everything is good in the bill. What do you cut?
Okay.
So in terms of this date, this date is fraught with meaning, because on October 31st is the day that the Highway Trust Fund authorization expires.
Right.
And if that expires, we have to get billions of dollars someplace to continue that. The best way to do that is to pass the BIF, having nothing to do with all the other, shall we say, deliberations that are going on. Our chair of the committee, Peter DeFazio, who's a master of this, of the Transportation Infrastructure Committee, has said we must pass this by October 31st.
But the reason I invoked progressives, I'm not blaming anything on them, but I'm just saying they have said, a sizable number of them, enough of them to tank the bill, that they will not vote for the BIF, the bipartisan infrastructure plan, unless there is this framework agreed to.
You're absolutely right.
So are you saying in the next week the framework will be agreed to, or there will be a deal on the social safety net bill?
Let's call it an agreement.
An agreement. There will be an agreement on that, and you will also vote for the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Both of those things will happen in the next week.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
And right now we are just, as you indicated, the two Leader Schumer, Mr. Manchin, Senator Manchin, and the President are having the meeting on some of the particulars that need to be finalized. And I'm optimistic that we can do that. Because, again, one basket was climate, which is a jobs bill and a bill for the children, for the future, is the health care piece of it, strengthening Affordable Care Act, expanding Medicaid, and expanding Medicare.
So let's get into it. Let's get into some of these issues, because they're important for people to
understand.
understand.
And then the third basket is, we're getting into it just so we have, the third bucket is the care.
Elder care, child care, family leave.
Child care and universal pre-K go together. Elder care, when we say home health care, that's for elder or children,
right,
or siblings who are disabled or something like that.
So is family leave going to make it into the final bill? It was 4 weeks of paid family leave. Is that going to be in the final bill?
That's our hope. Yes,
that's your hope.
That's what we're fighting for.
So Senator Sinema, who was a key Arizona Democrat vote in the Senate, Senator Sinema has said she will not support raising the corporate tax rate, raising the tax on high wage earners. And President Biden has acknowledged that might mean you can't pay for the rest of the bill using those sources of revenue. Do you have an alternate way?
Yeah, we do, because we were ready to pay for 3.5.
Right.
So we certainly can pay for half of that.
And what is that alternate way? Is it a billionaire's tax? Is it a
the
minimum tax for corporations?
Is, shall we say, has an appeal, but it doesn't produce that much money.
Okay.
Because the bill is not written yet, we hope it will be written today and introduced tomorrow. Only then can the Joint Tax Committee evaluate what it brings in. We anticipate $250 billion, but we need closer to $2 trillion. So we have other things.
Such as?
Well, such as we have enforcement, and that's several $100 billion. We have the overseas harmonization of taxes, and that's a few $100 billion. We have an array. And I'm not going to say what they are right here.
Corporate minimum tax, so that Elizabeth Warren was talking on the lead the other day about if a company like Amazon makes hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, and pays zero, this would be the legislation that requires that they pay something. Is that in there?
Well, the president during his campaign had a book rate proposal, and that is being evaluated as well as to how much that brings in. But that's another way to tax the increase in wealth in corporate America. But the thing is that whether we use the increase in the corporate tax rate, increase in the tax on some of the other aspects of it.
Wealth tax, billionaires tax.
Well, no, just some other aspects. Because we probably will have a wealth tax. But again, it's only 10% of what we need. The other things are more like $800 billion versus $200 billion. But we can use them another time. They don't go away as a source of revenue to pay for how we go forward. And we want to pay for
But you said you probably will have a wealth tax.
Well, that is, we'll see. We haven't seen the bill yet.
Right. And you said also that it's being written right now, and you're going to send it to the...
This is a Senate proposal.
Okay.
And they supposedly are writing it today. Tomorrow they would introduce it, and then the Joint Tax Committee is the one that says this is how much you get from that. But again, on our side, we have been totally ready with alternatives in terms of House and Senate and the White House. We have plenty of alternatives. We're ready.
So what is your response to progressives who say, what the Washington Post editorial board said, that Democrats are in danger of breaking the promise to roll back the Trump tax cuts and to fully pay for the plan?
Well, we're going to fully pay for the plan.
You are?
We'll probably more than pay for the plan. And one bill does not make look
you might
what
still
the
take another crack
president's done.
at getting rid of the
We had the rescue package, $1.9 trillion. We have the infrastructure bill, over $1 trillion. That's around $3 trillion. And we'll have this at $2 trillion. Nobody has done anything that remarkable. So while it isn't everything that was put out originally, it takes us down a path where we can continue investments in these. Now, this piece, the care piece, I did the climate, health, the care piece is all three of them make it transformative for America's working families.
It is a big bill.
It's a very big bill.
It would accomplish a lot.
Even at half, it's a very big bill.
So let me ask you, because one of the questions right now is paid family leave. You said that you hope that that's going to be in there, 4 weeks of paid family leave. And the expansion of Medicare to include dental, vision, and hearing coverage. Is that going to be in the bill?
Well, that's part of the negotiation. Dental is very expensive. So hearing and visual and dental, but dental will take a little longer to implement. But that's part of the negotiation right now.